afternoon, and good evening. I am Raymond Cirillo, your lifestyle advisor from Philippines, and it's Tuesday evening in Toronto, and Wednesday morning here in Asia. Good morning, and thank you for tuning in on our Forensic Networker call. And we have here our very own founder and CEO of Opulence Global. He is a visionary. He's the visionary behind the Opulence philosophy, the architect of the general direction of the company, and that includes the development of the compensation plan, basic to advanced training and business expansion systems, building high-level strategic partnerships, and the overall marketing targets. He spent 27 years in direct sales and built 4 multi-million-dollar businesses as a master distributor, becoming a self-made millionaire at the young age of 25. It was in 2005 that he launched Global Wealth Trade, now Opulence Global, with his own unique high-performance entry into the world of direct sales. And he was truly able to help more people more directly. And after 16 years of successful growth into 204 countries and territories, he is a wrestling champion with 112 medals in total and featured on the American Business Journal with Warren Buffett, a first-class inductee into the Networking Marketing Hall of Fame, an Ernst & Young Entrepreneur of the Year nominee and voted twice as number 2 and number 1 in 2014 and 2020 as the top MLM influencer and trainer by businessforhome.org. He also was interviewed at the Brian Tracy Show in 2015 and is the author of the ultimate training system in the industry, the Forensic Networker. So let me welcome Mr. Ramin Mascardu, our CEO and founder of Opulence Global. Hello, Mr. Ramin. Forensic evening.
Forensic evening to you and everybody else as well. Wonderful, wonderful. We got our awesome host from Philippines. All right, so we're live on YouTube as well as people here from Jamaica. We have Canada, Omaha, Nebraska. People coming in. Represent more Canada. Represent where you're at as usual. When you come on, like, subscribe, comment, hit the bell button, turn it blue, and share the link with a couple of networkers. This is important conversations that we're having. And tonight, we're going to talk about some high-level conversation about the whole MLM industry. So right now, share the link with a couple of people on your WhatsApp or whatever you use. Facebook says, get on the call now. Take the link, put it on your Facebook account. It's on right now. Let's get as many people on here so we can get the message out to everybody. This is an important message. What I always talk about for the last 32 years in this industry is that first we have to build an industry, then we have to build a company, then we have to build our team. And it's a concept that very few people understand. I introduced it to the industry about 30 years ago, right, maybe 22 years ago. And because generally people come into an MLM because they want to go make some money right now. And that's the motivation. And they forget about that maybe short-term targets. But really, if you're going to have a career in this like I have, and many have, then you need to think much bigger than that. The fact of the matter is, if you don't have a strong industry, it doesn't matter how good is your company, because everybody fails. The tide lifts all or brings everybody down. Doesn't matter how good is a company, right? Or it doesn't matter how good is your team if the company is struggling. So you want to make sure your company is strong, because the company suffers, then it doesn't matter how good is your team. It's important that we think that way. In everything you make, you could be making a soup. It's the right way, there's a wrong way, right? And so here, when it comes to this platform, if you go to a chef who's a culinary chef, they'll teach you in a professional manner how to make something. They don't have a fast way of doing something, right? You know you're going to get the proper way of doing whatever it is you're trying to make professionally. On Forensic Networker, you're going to get the MLM message and the training at a very, very high level. Somebody who's generated with $500 million in revenue last 32 years and all the opportunities that I've been involved in. So obviously, when you create $500 million in sales or revenue, all of us, you think things differently than someone who's here to make a little bit of money. So I'm here to get you in that mode. that this is a lot more important. This is a lot more serious than maybe you've been thinking about. Most importantly, I'm the biggest student of MLM. And the reason why we are doing so well after 16 years here, we are here with a lot of companies, like 99% don't even make it past 18 months, is because, again, I'm the greatest coach because I'm the greatest student. And I'm constantly assessing the whole industry. And I see the industry completely different than all the other leaders or trainers out there. And because I don't look inside MLM to improve MLM. I find MLM is being run now in the same platform that started 70 years ago, 80 years ago, which was state of art at that time. It isn't today. Today, it's a mature industry. So now, to expand it, we need to look beyond the original ways. And I'm not saying the original ways don't work. I'm just saying we just need to adopt the new ways. And we need to learn from outside MLM, how these giants have become there. So I'm improving MLM, and we're reshaping our company based on not MLM, because we're already the best in MLM, but based on much bigger companies outside MLM. When I was wrestling in high school, I guess we're 12 years old and started at 13, 14. Once we finished the high school practice, we went directly, right afterwards, we went directly to the YMCA and CWC, which is National Capital Wrestling Club, where the adults wrestled. So we're 12, 13-year-olds. We used to go wrestle against adults. They were all wrestling trying to compete for the national team. Of course, we got beaten up a lot until we started dominating, conquering that in a couple of years. But we needed that, much different level for us to grow as children. We're already beating the kids. That doesn't make us better, because we're already better than the high school wrestlers. For us to get to the next level, so I can win a Canadian championship, we had to go against the bigger guys, and that's what we did, and that's where we won the championships. So I'm looking right now at MLM. So MLM is not being improved right now, but I want to improve it. So I'm looking outside. I'm going after the largest companies in the world. I'm looking at how Facebook became Facebook, right? How does Amazon becomes Amazon? How does PayPal becomes PayPal? All these companies have become giants, because the reason why they're giants has really nothing to do with what they're doing, right? It's nothing, because thousands of companies, if not tens of thousands of companies, have tried to do exact same thing, and they couldn't do it, or they did it at a much lower degree. But these guys did it. So I'm taking a look at it, studying that. I'm a math guy. So everything to me is mathematical. So, and I see this a completely different way. One of the reasons China became a powerhouse, if you take a look at this, let's talk about how everything we're talking about applies to everything in the world. And this becomes very relevant. I was reading something about China today, and so the reason China has become so self-sufficient, that they became so, because remember, China about 30 years ago, they had like 5% in the middle class. Today, they got 35% in middle class. That's 1.4 billion people. They've done tremendously well. And the reason why they did so well, pay attention, because this applies to MLM, is because China came up with this policy. They call it a dual circulation policy. What that means is that dual circulation, what that means is that we make in China and we sell in China. Because China used to import a lot of things. 1.4 billion. They used to import, they import a lot. Most of the stuff they used to import. But the dual circulation policy, what it did do was that get them to start investing inside China, utilize their workforce, and they start creating in China, not just to export because they're doing that, but to be able to sell internally. When you go 1.4 billion people internally, that's a big economy. That's a huge, huge economy. So they created, essentially what they did was they created a lot of use cases for the products that they needed to have inside the country. So now, how do we learn from that? Again, this is pretty much what happens with these joint companies, right? Once you start understanding how the joint companies become joint company, then you understand how you can build your business, how you can build your team to become one of those teams that not generate 10,000 a month in volume, generate maybe $1 million a month in volume or 10 million a month in volume, because you have the opportunity, you have the platform to do it. So, and I'm looking at our company, okay, you know what? We're going to take this to the billion. What do we need to do? And also, more importantly, we become the first mover in this space of how I'm envisioning things. We could be a $10 billion company. We could become the largest MLM company on the planet. So how do you get to a roadmap? You get your roadmap from the multi-billion-dollar companies right now, what they're doing, and the name of the game is basically adoption. And so what MLM, but I see MLM going, the MLM of future is going to be different of the MLM of today and MLM of 50 years ago and 70 years ago. The problem is in MLM companies don't know that. They keep doing what their upline did when they were in the distributor, and the upline did so everyone's doing what MLM used to do 70 years ago. The old one product company where, it just go out there, take any product and then put a story and then create a hype. That's the old MLM. They used to work. But you know what? That's not working as well anymore. It's like the draw is now more than just making money or having one product to be excited about. So I think people look at MLM now differently. I think hype of the old days doesn't work. I think, just take any product and then go out there and that. I think people now, they start already, and especially in the future, especially where it's going, because it's such a mature industry now. It's not an amazing industry. People are looking for so much more than just making money. And then people look at an opportunity, after what happened in the pandemic, they're looking for independence. So, they're looking inside, they're looking for solutions. They want to join a company that has use cases, has solutions. They could give them insecurity. They can give them security. They can give them independence, give them a peace of mind, the way we did it for our people during the pandemic last year. You called, we were there. You emailed, we were there. You want products, we shipped it out the same day. I think people are looking at that's becoming more and more important with what's going on right now. Everyone working from home, stay-at-home economy, the pandemic, all the lockdowns and mandates, and all of the stuff. I think a lot of people realize maybe we don't have as much freedom as we thought we had, right? So now they're starting to look for more things to give them more independence. Relationships are important. I think people, again, the society is becoming more apart because now with the stay-at-home economy stuff, people go out less now, right? They go out less now with the robotics that are coming in. Like I'm in the stock market and I see what's going on with the robotics. There's already stores right now in Los Angeles, in California, Amazon stores. You go in, there's nobody in the store. Essentially, you go in, you see them already in stores where you serve yourself, except there are stores now already where there's nobody in the store at all. It kind of captures your face, you put your credit card, you pick whatever you want, and you leave. So robotics, I mean, it's a huge industry now because, it's going to replace a lot of jobs, right? So I think relationships become important. People want a group to belong to because, again, it's not a positive world out there. And the more negative it becomes, the more support people need. So I think people look at the MLM now more than just something to hype and make money with. The MLM of future is going to be so much more than that. Remember, social media became so huge, not because people make money in it. Of course, some businesses are out there promoting it. Social media became huge because people needed support. Mental support, emotional support. They just wanted to belong to something. Before social media, people went to where? The parties, they went to the mosque, and they went to the church and synagogue. The religious gatherings really is a place where you meet people you feel comfortable with. You talk to your God. It's your moment. These are people that meet once a week to support. People love the social aspect of religious gatherings, right? So MLM of the future, how people would look at MLM is going to be so much different than what it is today. So much different. So we got to take a look at MLM of the future. And I want to be the first. I want to be in the forefront. I want to be the first mover in that space. The reason why the crypto space has grown so much, Bitcoin and all those things, is because there's a group of people who are saying, you know what, we don't want the legacy systems like the banking systems. We want independence. There's a movement happening over there right now. And you know what? That's where it's at. MLM is going to go through a major shift. And the companies that got all they got is hype and no use cases, they're going to disappear. All the companies that got one product, they're going to disappear. All the companies that are going to just talk money, they're going to disappear. Because money will not be the main and only driver for why people get into an MLM business. People would look for, because every company can offer that. People would look for so much more than that. So, and they're going to become pickier and pickier on which company to choose. So the name of the game is adoption. Like how many people are connected to the network? How many people are connected to your network, to the company? How many people are using the products? How many people are using the services? How many people are using the opportunity? How many people? So the old way in MLM was, basically people, find the product and hype it up and then hype up the money side. So, hey, it saves, solves cancer and you promote this, you're going to make money. That used to work. But that's just not how MLM is today. It's a very mature industry. But that's true with all industries. There was a time where homes were a lot simpler too. If you build a home the way you used to make it 30 years ago, nobody's interested in it. The cars, used to be a lot simpler too, right? Everything was simpler. And at that time, people were interested in it. But you manufacture the same things today, people are looking for a lot more than what was. But see, MLM hasn't adopted, hasn't evolved at all. MLM hasn't evolved at all. It's just basically stuck to the old ways because of people opening up these new companies that don't know any better. They're duplicating what they'd seen before. See, with us in Opulence from day one, we said we don't want to be another MLM company, although we're going to pay as an MLM compensation plan. But let's go beat Louis Vuitton. Forget about Amway, right? Because we're taking quality, we're taking, prestige, red carpet. So of course, Louis Vuitton is bigger than Amway, but we didn't focus on the money side. We're focusing on the product side. If you're gonna be, make jewelry, let's go with Cartier, right? We didn't care about being Walmart with the jewelry. Walmart does a million times more volume than Cartier does because the junk jewelry that they have. Shouldn't say that, but anyway, but we didn't care about that. We wanted to go, so let's go be Cartier, right? So I'm looking at MLM now. I say, we've really placed ourselves in such an amazing position for the future. See, I used to complain. I used to complain about how tough fashion is because we used to do fashion because when you do a health product, it requires one R&D, right? But when you have 1,000 fashion pieces, that's like 1,000 R&Ds because every one of them can go wrong. So, but that is so difficult to create, whole fashion line and put it out there. And, but we did. So, and then last 5 or 6 years, I've been telling everybody, last 3 or 4 years, since we got into skincare and healthcare, we're saying, okay, fashion and accessories, that's going to become the base of the whole company now. It's becoming, and now it's beyond that because now I'm thinking this is where it's going now is network effect, Metcalfe law. It's going. So basically, it comes to one thing: use cases. How many use cases do you have for the person that you're presenting to? And you know what? It's the use cases that gets people into your business, and it's the use cases going to keep people in your business. Not only gets them in, it's going to keep them in. How many solutions do you offer? This is where the one product companies or hype companies is when they start to really get shocked because what's going on, and it's, by the way, it's already happening. So MLM used to be immune to recessions. We used to brag about that. When the whole world economy collapsed, MLM went up because people are looking for something to do. That was true. It was so true until this pandemic. I think what's happening now is that people are saying, okay, no, I need more than money because guess what? I was locked out. And, you know, I couldn't do anything with my money. I find now that there are things that are more important than money. Money's good. So they're looking for solutions. Solutions come from use cases. So how many solutions do you offer? See, Amazon grew to become the world's largest company because they have many use cases, right? They have many, many use cases. They kind of go, anything you want, first thing you think about is Amazon, right? eBay. Why? Because they're offering all the solutions to you. So they have many, many. How can we provide that to our customers? So distributors will be looking inside to get their products. How the MLM of the future is going to look like is that if I join as a company, I hope that you can give me as many solutions as I need, because I don't want to be part of 10 companies. I don't want to be out there. I don't want to call out. I don't want to go on Amazon. I don't want to look all over internet to find the things that I need. So how many use cases can you give me? You know what? There isn't that many companies that actually set up for that. You can maybe say, okay, maybe Amway is set up for that, but they don't make anything, right? They don't make anything. We make everything. So the challenge you're going to have with Amway, for example, is as good as basically they're not Amazon, right? But then everything that they're selling to a network market is more expensive than outside because it's the exact same product because they don't make anything. So with us, we make this stuff. The company like Louis Vuitton can do that from fashion. They make stuff, but they don't do the health stuff. So we're going to talk about all these use cases, right, that we have. So I believe distributors will be looking inside their company. And when they assess a new opportunity, they're going to look at it. They're going to say, you know what? Okay, let me see how many use cases do you have? How many solutions do you offer? They don't want to look outside. They're looking for inside. And we go through some of the use cases that we have now. And we did this on a leadership call on Sunday. It was amazing. I sat down just thinking, okay, how many use cases do we have, right? I was absolutely shocked how many use cases we have. We're going to talk about that next. So Metcalfe law works long-term if you got more use cases. Remember what Metcalfe law is, adoption, right? So the more adoption you have, the more use cases you have, the more adoption you're going to get because you have more solutions. More solutions to problems, you make more money. It's that simple. Definition of business is find a problem, provide a solution. That's the whole definition of a business. The more problems you can solve, the more solutions you can have, the more money you're going to make. So this is the end of the one product companies that just hype money, 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 money. I mean, they're out there. They're still out there. They still pop up every day, but they don't last. They don't last. You know, it's funny because in the old days, a bad company could launch and still be around for a year or two. Now they're out of business in 90 days. You know, because in the old days, it was pre-internet. So they still had to have something to, and it was the communication was slower. The building exposed. And it wasn't as easy to open a business, so at least they had something to start, so it lasts a bit longer. Nowadays, somebody with an iMac in the bedroom Potentially to be Amazon. Of course, they don't have any abilities, so they'll be out of business very, very soon. So Metcalfe law works long-term if you got more use cases. So the more products you have, the more use cases. The less products you have, the less use cases, and you got the more volatility. So let's talk about volatility. So if you have, say, one product, let's just say you have 100 distributors, right? You got 100 distributors, and say you got one product, right? So the 100 distributors, best scenario, they love the product, they buy the product. Of course, usually people buy in bulk, because that's just how packages are. And then the next month, though, they have the product. They don't need any more. Maybe they didn't sell all of it. Some sold, some didn't. So maybe next month you have 50 people place an order, not 100, because 50 sold their inventory, the other 50 didn't. So now you have 50. The next month you have 30. The following month you have 50. So this volatile because you have one product. It's easy to service people in one product. So it's, you're going to be volatile. So, but if you got more use cases, if you solve more problems, if you got more products people could use and offer, so the 100 people, right? They bought the one product or two products. The next month, they might not need one or two products, but they take product number 3 and product number 4. So your volatility goes from this to maybe this, right? Because they're not buying the product 1, but they're buying product 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, 6. So the more use cases you have, the better it is. So it brings me back last 16 years, all the hard work we did building a fashion house. Wow. And then we got into, so we did it right. Like everybody else goes into skincare stuff first. But then when you do that, you're so stuck in that, you really can't not do transition into fashion. Plus, it's way too hard anyways. When the company's that big, to try to do a lineup like we have, it's almost impossible to do, right? It takes $1 billion to do it, right? But if you're small, right, then you can do R&D, you can experiment, you can build slowly as your team grows. So we have our lineup now. It's set. For me, if I didn't have the fashion line, for me to get into the fashion line right now, it would be an absolute nightmare. It's just so many people, so many cultures, so many sizes. We had to grow slowly over the next 16 years. If I want to replicate, if somebody wants to replicate everything we have in Opulence right now, they'll have to spend about, maybe bare minimum, I would say about $10 million just copying. I'm not talking R&D, because that would be $100 million or $200 million. Just $10 million is just in inventory cost. Maybe $20 million just in inventory. If they're just copying, forget about creating anything, right? So we went through R&D, we created, we designed, we've done. Our business is probably about $500 million worth of R&D network value in it. So we've done all of that, and then we got into health and all this other stuff, right? So here's another thing as well. So the volatility goes down when you have more use cases, because your people are using on the months that they don't need these products, but they need these other products, right? So more use cases, the less volatile. So your check is, more stable. Now that's what you want ultimately, right? You want to build it to a point where you can count on your check. You can count on your check. So as a company, we're looking at this, okay, we have to offer all these other things to our distributors or partners what other companies don't: security, independence, all this stuff, peace of mind, right? We got to give them as many solutions as possible. We got to give them all these use cases, the stuff that they use every single day, the things that they think about every single day. So if you don't have any use cases, guess what? You get mass exit, right? So you got all these companies that come and all they sell is hype, money. Whether it's through some type of Forex or some type of crypto scam, whatever it is. I like crypto. It's just not the scams that goes on out there, right? So all they talk about hype, 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 hype. There's no use case. So people will come in because of hype. Somebody said, oh, you're going to make $1 billion if it takes you all weekend, right? And unfortunately, people still fall for that junk. I don't know why. This is not a new thing. It's been going on for 50 years. But people actually still fall for that junk. But then very quickly people find out, I guess it's not true, right? Very quickly find it's not true. And then, of course, mass entry, mass exit. So no use case, mass exit. See, from day one, I said, I don't want a mass entry, mass exit. I didn't want to have 100,000 in and 90,000 leave every year. And that's a DSA average, by the way. That's a DSA, a direct selling association, which covers all MLM companies. There's a the stat is 10% retention. That's mass entry, mass exit. You know, basically, if you get 1,000 people now, you get 10% next year. You kept 100, there are 900 left. So I never wanted that. I don't want to be a part of that DSA group. I'd rather have less people enter and keep 50% of them than have more people enter and lose 90% of them. And we've done that. I'm proud of that. We set all kinds of DSA records, destroyed it because of that. Destroyed it because of that. Thank you for that, Raymond, for doing that on YouTube. All right. So if you have no use cases, then you have no retention, right? It's basically about you lose your business and you be looking for every business every 3 months. So I sat down one day. I said, okay, how many use cases do we have? Because I know we have a lot. And you know what made me think that way? I get up in the morning. Of course, I do my shower stuff. And then when I was shaving. And I was shaving. When I was in the shaving, I used the conditioner to shave. That's what I use. And when I came out, I was looking for my day cream. And I couldn't find it. I'm in every room. I finally went to Sanaz's, the one that has stashed there. I took care of that day cream. I came up. I'm walking to go to do my use it as an aftershave, and that just dawned on me. I said, you know, I just went all over the house. I mean, I have at least 50 bottles of perfume and aftershaves, you know, thing you accumulate over time in the bathroom, right? I didn't want any of it. I'm all over the house looking for the day cream because that's what I've been using for 3 years, 3.5 years. And I started to think to myself, damn. That's one use case I could never. And I go through at least a bottle every 2 weeks. I just love that stuff. And I said, that's a use case. I could have used an aftershave. But no, I was running around looking. So that's a use case. That's what sitting down saying, you know what? How many use cases do we have? Because I know we have a lot of use cases, right? Because you look at opulence, like I look at opulence use cases, right? You got health, you got personal care, you got mouth care, you got home care, you got skin care, you got air care coming up, you got fashion, you got necessities, you got income. I mean, offers an alternative to jobs, time freedom, social independence. I mean, it just goes on and on. Damn, we are really positioned well. Really positioned well for the future, for the MLM of the future. And we are on the forefront of all of this. I thought, I'm going to take you through this. It's a lot of fun. You should be doing this. Actually, you should do this with your prospects. This is forensics. I apologize for the people who are not from the company. Opulence. I know we get people that tap in, some from overseas. Just block your ear for a minute. So I figure when we wake up, an average day, right? An average day, when you wake up, right? Forget about opulence for a minute. Forget about opulence for a minute. People outside opulence, people who are not involved with opulence. Let's look at an average day. You wake up, you jump in the shower, you need a shampoo. Opulence, check mark. You need a body wash. Opulence, check mark. You need a conditioner. Check mark. You need to shave. I use a conditioner for that. Check mark. You need an aftershave. I use a day cream for that. Check mark. You need skincare, right? Everybody uses skincare. All the ladies would use skincare, right? So that's where we got all these drugstores. So people forget about our business. This is what everybody needs: shampoo, body wash, conditioner, shave, aftershave, skincare. You need to brush. You need toothpaste, right? Shoes, bags, wallet, watch, jewelry, health supplement, antibacterial with a sanitizer, or whether it's something. I start thinking, my goodness, you take all of you guys every single day, just a use case in your household. Now, let's just talk about one person. What if it was a whole family? What if it were everybody in your team's whole family? Just think about that. Let's look at opulence right now. You wake up in the morning, you got to go jump in the shower. You got to wash your hair. Before Opulence, you bought a shampoo outside. Write that how much that was costing you before, right? Just write that. Then you didn't need a body wash. We all have some Axe or something in the shower, right? So write that down how much that would cost you. Then you use conditioner, right? It has nothing to do with Opulence, but you bought the stuff, but now you don't have to anymore. Write that down. Then you have to shave. Write that down. You have aftershave. Right? All of the stuff we use for shave, I use the conditioner. Aftershave, I use the day cream. Skincare, we got Very Flawless. You're using something else before. You know, you for your entire lifetime, you put poison in your mouth and your kid's mouth using a toothpaste, Crystal, whatever it was. Now you don't have to anymore. Not only you save money because you don't have to buy that stuff anymore, now you are actually saving. I'm going to show you how you're going to save money in a minute. Then, of course, you're going to leave the house. You got to wear shoes. You have to wear shoes. You can't leave home without shoes. So you were buying shoes before Opulence. You don't have to anymore. Now you have then you need bag. Everybody's got some type of bag or briefcase, right? Check mark. You need a wallet. Check mark. Everybody wears a watch. Check mark. Some wear jewelry. Check mark. So health supplement. I think 50% of the population use some vitamin or something, right? Check mark with Fountain of Life. Antibacterial, right? People going out there putting out this alcoholic sanitizers. And of course, now it's a big problem. Now we find out it's a big problem. And Health Canada knows a big problem. They removed 57 brands of sanitizers off the market because it's a serious problem. Check mark with Sterling and the spray, right? And those are just use cases that you need every single day. Let's go a little bit beyond that. This is if you're not even actively building the business. This is what you would do. If you quit Opulence today, you need all of this tomorrow, and you're just buying someone else's product. Okay? You're still going to be using this stuff. You used it before, you're going to use it after. So it's awesome that instead of 15 other factories and companies benefiting from those sales, that you're actually using it yourself, building your business, right? It's really cool that before you had to buy all these other brands, different companies, now all comes under one roof, and it's your brand. Now, it's more than that. Most people drive a car. If you're active here, first part I talked about, you don't have to be active. This is stuff you need anyways for your day-to-day. But if you are active, most people drive a car, but here we have a car program, right? Ask Renee when was the last time he paid for his car, or Amarjeet, or Reza, all these people. Ask them. They just haven't, right? We pay for it. Everybody takes a vacation, right? Everybody takes a vacation. Well, here you can get for free cruises, 6-star vacations. We give it to you. Everybody needs to save. Everybody needs to save. Of course, we know stats are getting worse and worse. No one can save. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. But here, even if you have a job, if you got to cycle a month, forget about the week, cycle a month here, you save an extra $460 every single month. You can put a saving. It's a great way to save here. You can't do it in a job. Most people can't do it. We know the stats. The stats just came out. It is shocking how horrible life is, especially in the United States. But we're going to talk more about that because I got all the stats that came in this week. So social aspect. People like to go to nightclubs and restaurants because they want to be around people. Look, we're all around tonight, right? We get to get on these calls on Mondays, on Tuesdays, on Saturdays, on Sundays. We get around and we got meetings we go to, and then we do conferences. The social, I don't know how much people get on social media because they just need the social aspect. It's called social media. And this offers that. This business offers that. I know so many people have told me, you know what? Opulence to me is a family. It's a way of life. I don't even care about the money. I hear it all the time. And I love that. That brings out the social aspect of things. They just, we have a home, we have a family, and, so you can't put a price on certain things, right? How about the personal development? Look how much you learn here on this call every Tuesday, right? Look how much on Monday. How much have you learned about health being part of this company here? Just think about that for a minute, right? So the personal development, I'm telling you, the world is not moving forward. I did a video today. I'm going to put it up. You're going to laugh. Because honestly, I find that the world's population, people have become like sheeps. We're not supposed to be sheeps. We're, we got one German Shepherd can take a herd of 1,000 sheep, and the 1,000 sheep, they could stomp him down. No, they kind of follow this one dog running around. We're not supposed to be sheeps. We're supposed to think, learn, adopt, evolve, become a better version of ourselves. We're supposed to be that. No, the world is, I'll tell you, this is a funny thing in a minute. And then making friends. I can tell you that's one thing that's a lot of people have a lot of problem with that. And like here, you're going to, you make a lot of friends here. You make, and some of the best friends too, by the way, because they're all on the same wavelength as you are. Usually we lose our friends because, first of all, they were never really friends. But anyways, as you evolve and they're not, the gap gets bigger and bigger. Next thing you know, why are they changing? Well, they're changing because you talk different now. You're at a different level there now. And there's a bigger gap, right? Which is a good thing. You're evolving and they are not evolving. So to try to stay on topic, because I want to get into something else, but just try to stay on topic here is that so where people are going to end up, and they're already there because we saw what happened in the pandemic. People already start to look at, okay, if I'm going to get into a company, it's more than just hype and money. I'm going to look for more than that. It's like people today are much smarter in their shopping, for example. When you go buy a home, when you go buy a car, in the old days, maybe they didn't ask a lot of questions. Maybe all they care about, how much is the financing fee, how much is how much is going to cost me, the interest rate, those things. Today, though, when people are shopping, they're shopping for a lot of things, they're asking a lot of questions, right? So the people have become a lot smarter shoppers, maybe because of the internet. And so now, when people are going to start looking for opportunities, what you're going to find is that people are going to really research it. And people now know more than ever what they need in their lifetime. And I can tell you, if all you have to offer is hype and one product, and you would say, here's my prediction on that. I think the MLM industry will pick winners and losers. And that's a big, it's a big statement to make. And I believe that 100%, that the MLM industry will pick winners and losers. And the ones who win are the ones who have all this stuff together. They're offering a lot more substance than hype. It's like, how many companies have tried to be a Facebook? But no, the industry decided that Facebook is the winner, right? How many people have tried to be Amazon? I mean, there's other companies doing small things, but the industry has decided that Amazon is the winner. Like Tesla will be the winner for electric cars, right? So the industry will decide in MLM who are the winners and losers. And we are on the forefront of that, because I don't know of another company that offers so much use cases than we do. I don't know if another company offers so much use cases than we do. You wake up in the morning. If you did absolutely nothing for the business, you got, I don't know, 16 or 17 different use cases of our product. Now, here's the important part here. Here's the important part. Why do all the stuff is for free? Because when you do another business and you buy their smart buy, they don't have all these use cases. So you're buying this product and try to sell it or consume it or whatever it is. And then a lot of people don't have that many use cases. They're forced to go out to try to sell it, right? If they don't, it sits in the basement. So it's a cost accumulating, right? Well, here, just by using our products, forget about, there's no way, I mean, there's only $150 a month, right? There's no way you can cover all this. But I can tell you there's enough use cases here that just by using your $150 or $200, whatever that you use on these products, you got your business for free. You got your business for free. Why? Let me explain this to you again. Say you paid $1,800 to get your LA package. I'm sorry, people who are not for this business. This is the only call I'm actually going to get into this business. Business. You pay $1,800. If you shopped it properly, that means you kept your shopping credit, bought the stuff you actually use every day, not the stuff that you you know, your upline told you to go buy because it has more CV, or buy all one product. No, if you actually bought the stuff that you need, you always on your next score, you will never ever have to buy another shampoo, body wash, conditioner, shaving cream, aftershave, another skincare line, another toothpaste, another shoes, another bag, another wallet, another watch, another jewelry. You don't have to buy it ever again. This everything that you had to buy before you join this business, and everything you have to buy after this business if you decide to quit. That's why this business is for free. It saves you money. It saves you money. Opening a business is costly, and here you invest to get in business. But after that, your business is for free. Because if you write down how much money you spend, for example, just one item. I checked on Google. An average person spends about $437 a year on jewelry. Just that alone, basically $40 a month. That's no, you say I don't buy that every month. You don't, you're right. But once a year, whether it's because it's Valentine's or some event, you're gonna go spend $400 or so on an average person, just on one item alone, $437 in jewelry a year. That's just one item. If you sat down and say, okay, everything here, if I write down how much it's costing me monthly, just the stuff that here, you buy it here, you pay for it, except you get a business for free. When you buy from the outside, you're not getting a business for free. You're not getting an opportunity. You're not getting anything else. Like all the use cases that this company has. So that puts a smile on my face. I'm thinking, you know, we're not known to be the biggest yet. We'll be there. I've always said we're the world's largest tiny company. We're the world's largest tiny company. What do I mean by that? We're the world's largest because in innovation, there's nobody ahead of us. The stuff that we do, no one is ahead of us. Look at Fairy Marsh, first high carat gold jewelry. Look at, you know, Fairy, what we put out there. The Fountain of Life. Look at our toothpaste. I mean, everything we do, right? It's just state of art, cutting edge. Yet most of the world, 99.9% of the world, don't know about us yet. So the world's largest in innovation, tiny company because we need to get the word out and get everybody on our products. We got to tell people our use cases. We got to show people the use cases of our business. So hopefully all of you guys are experienced all the use cases. If you don't have every single product in your household, you don't get this business. That means if you don't have this stuff in your household, that means you're buying it from outside. If you don't wear our shoes, you're wearing someone else's shoes. Does that make any sense to you? If the bag you take out every day, if it's not our bag, it's not from your business, you bought it from someone else's business. That doesn't make any sense. It's like you having a house and you pay rent for someone else. You pay rent to somebody else. It's your house. You have a house, right? But then you rent the house from somebody else and keep paying rent. You have a business which part of your one fit maintenance, you can get that shoe. That means the business is free, right? But no, instead, you're buying shoes somewhere else, bags somewhere else, jewelry, watches, shampoos, toothpaste, skincare. You're using someone else's instead of using your own use case, so your business can be for free. So point blank, if you're using your own products, your business is free. If you're not using your own products, your business is costing you some money because you have to do your maintenance anyway, your 150, 200, whatever. What if you want to qualify for the next car level program, right? From 500, you want to go to 750, you want to go to $1,000. So if you use your own products, not only you get the products you need that saves you money outside, now you get a higher level of car. What if on the cycle, right? You got a cycle 900, 1800, 3600, 5400, right? What if by using your own products, you can up your cycle to cycle 2, cycle 3, cycle 4, which is the super cycle, which is get you the 2 extra bonuses. What if everybody in your team did that? Wow. Can you see wow? Use cases. So here's a homework for you. Sit down tonight before you go to bed. Trust me, you're gonna have fun with this. Just do it. Let's see how how much of a good student you are if you're gonna duplicate this. Sit down, write down the use cases. Write your day down, your typical day. Right? Wake up in the morning, what's the first thing I do? Second thing, third thing, fourth thing, till I go to bed. And find out how many of those things, the things you need, is covered in your business right here in Opulence Global. Now, we haven't even talked about the quality of our stuff is so much better than what's outside. The fashion, the prestige, designer line, the celebrity line. We haven't talked about any of that stuff. We're just talking use cases. Use cases. When you wear your fairy and everybody questions, "Oh, nice, Brian. What are you wearing? What is that? Oh, that's nice." People who are they're fairy and posh, they tell us all the time. They get approached all the time by friends and family. Where'd you get that? What kind is it? What is this? Right? We haven't got into that. We're just talking use cases. Use cases. Basic stuff. This is the MLM of the future right here today. Hopefully you got that. With that, let's give back to our fearless host. And let's see some comments, questions, anything you want. It's been a good call. I think it's been a good call.
Wow. All our mental warriors have gotten a lot from this call. So, I can see the chat blowing up from YouTube. And though the Zoom is as quiet as possible, I know they are tuning in on YouTube. And if I may read some of the wonderful chats in responses on our call from Ronin, in the future, everybody is buying from MLM companies and earning from their own MLM company. Opulence is the best as our partners and VIPs can buy most of what we need and much more in the future. And Chris Jam said, Opulence, our one-stop store for everything. From Berlin, we are the biggest, just that the masses are still unaware. And Maria said, evolve, becoming a better version of yourself. That's one view of the chats which load up the YouTube channel of the Forensic Networker channel. And guys, before December ends, I may request all of you to share our Forensic Networker channel. This is a lot of information to receive, and I'm sure more people would be glad to learn about this information which our CEO and founder had shared with us on this call. So copy the link, like, share, and subscribe for our Forensic Networker channel.
Yes, you know what? I love YouTube because it's so visual. You could see. Let's see here. I'm gonna take a picture of this. I'm gonna post you guys up. All right. Here's the thing, Merlin. The best deodorant turns out being FOL. I know. I learned that from my son. I used it one time. I was traveling for 24 hours, didn't have my kit with me, and I used FOL, and it's incredible just to test it out because it kept me so dry, and I actually been to bed at night, woke up in the morning, it works so well. My son, he's 13 now, so at that age they go through some chemical changes. He plays basketball, he's always active. And he calls me Bubba, I need some FOL, not because he likes to drink it, he doesn't like the taste, but he uses for deodorant. That is the absolute best deodorant bar none ever. Everybody on this call, take your FOL, put it on your hand, put it underneath here. I'm telling you, it's going to work 3 times longer than anything else you can imagine. The product is antibacterial, obviously, and it's the bacteria that causes the odor. FOL is the safest, best. This is one of the reasons, by the way, this is probably the main reason why I put that development I stopped that development. We were doing a deodorant. So here's what happened. I'll tell you how that thing didn't work out. We put FOL and we put in our Micro Silver, but you need a carrier. You need a carrier. So the carrier is whatever that cream is, right? So you can put it on. The problem with it was that the carrier, when you sweat, the water washed off the carrier. So you lost your FOL, you lost your microsilver. So every 4 hours, you have to reapply because the carrier could not hold the wetness. So you lost your protection. But FOL doesn't do that. FOL doesn't mix with water or oil. That's one of the main things about it. It's such a special ingredient. FOL doesn't mix with anything, including water and oil. So what happens is when you put FOL on, it attaches itself. It gets absorbed by your skin. That's why you put the FOL on for 24 hours. You don't need anything. It is the absolute best deodorant you could ever imagine because it doesn't wash us off. So that's why I say, you know what? It's by itself, it's the absolute best. Okay, it doesn't have the fancy scent like deodorants do, right? But FOL is the absolute best deodorant anyone, for any athlete, for anyone. So maybe we shouldn't try so hard, try to mix it with different things, make it look like regular deodorant, and then the other ingredients become the problem. Not FOL, not the microsilver. It's the other ingredients that we need to create that deodorant cannot withstand the wetness. So that's why we say we put that on hold. And I'm telling everybody, just use FOL on your leg, between your legs, on your arm, anywhere you feel like you need to, for rashes, all the stuff. FOL, one time we did, I think it's like 15 different use cases on FOL alone. Now, tonight we talked about use cases, but these are just main stuff. We haven't even talked the use cases within the use cases. Use cases within the use cases. We haven't even talked about all of that stuff. That's how I know this company will be in the forefront of MLM. We're going to take this baby to the billion. Why? Because we got a lot of use cases. So if you're out there promoting just one thing, you're not, you're just not utilizing your business properly. The world has a lot of problems. Your people you talk to have a lot of problems, and you have a lot of solutions. So you want to make sure you're very organized. What does that mean? That means you never miss a product call on Mondays, because that's where we teach you all the benefits of the products, all the use cases of the products. That's why you never miss a Monday call. That's why you want to make sure that you share the link tonight. Do you think, blow up the chat group if you think everybody in your team should have been on this call tonight, right? Do you think your people will have got a lot of benefit if they heard this call tonight, right? So here's what you're going to do. You want to make sure you take the link after this call and you pass it on every chat group, pass it to everybody. If you sponsor somebody new, say, hey, Johnny, don't go to sleep tonight until you listen to this and go to sleep with this in your ears. Make sure to understand the difference between this and that other thing they tried before this company that they thought was MLM. MLM now equals use cases. What's the use cases of your company and how many do you have? And that's how we should compare ourselves to other. This is what separates us from everybody else. Use cases. Again, Amazon became the biggest company in the world because they offer a lot of use cases. You go on right away. And for MLM, I don't think there's anybody that comes remotely close to our company. All right, so we got lots going on YouTube. And quickly looking at this stuff here. Wow, there's so many messages here. The MLM of the future. Yeah, that's right. It's amazing. My hubby started using the Quad AG. Yes. Then he went to FOL after that. After that came to market. That's Merlin. Good for you, Merlin. Ireland of 15,000 people. Great training. Every time I attend this call, my brain opens up. Shamila. That's what it's all about. Evolving, right? Become better version of yourself. Thank you, Rami, for pointing out how versatile our company is. Absolutely. So the question is, though, why don't we know that, right? So we have to get the information up better. Guess what? A lot of your people don't know that as well. Toothpaste, shampoo, conditioner, face, body. So the Ronin's all over this. Awesome. Even though I'm waiting on the deodorant, okay, this Merlin, well, you got your deodorant. It's called the Fountain of Life. We call it the Fountain of Life for a reason. It's everything. It's everything. All of it. Okay, there's a lot going on. So many messages. Thank you for that. Thank you for blowing up the chat group. Remember, YouTube likes noise. Make a lot of noise. Come back when I close the call. But like the comment about this. What was a breakthrough for you? All the people on Zoom, make sure you go to YouTube. Put a comment down. Let's let YouTube knows who's what's the best game in town when it comes to MLM. With that, stay forensic team. Love you guys, and to the billion. Back to you.
Okay. Just a few announcements. Our training schedules for this month, our last corporate webinar for 2021 will be the Forensic Networker call on Tuesday, December 21st, and Products Crossfire Forensic Networker call and Saturday live training will resume on the week of January 10th, 2022. And we have here a promotion for the whole month of December for just a minimum order of $150. You'll receive a free wash gift given to us by our generous CEO. So you can shop, whether it is for health, fashion, or beauty, or personal care. You can, or fashion as well. You can really select the product that you choose and receive a special gift from our CEO. And by next year, we will have our New Year's webinar on the 8th of January. So be sure to register early as limited likes and do not miss the call because there will be a surprise for the top 3 countries with the most participants on the call. So make sure you check in your emails for announcements or your back office. That will be on 8th of January 2022 at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. So there is a Zoom ID there. So register now. I have just registered myself a while ago. So you make sure to register. Okay. And then we have a lot of partners tuning in from Zoom. We have actually 42,000 in YouTube, 29,000 partners tuning in. So thank you guys for the wonderful attendance on our call. And thank you, Sir Amin, for your time. And as always, we learned a lot every now and then, every week of this training. And with that, everyone, this is your local host for the month of December in Cirilo from the Philippines, saying stay forensic, everyone. Good night, good evening, good morning, and good afternoon. To the billion.
To the billion. Stay forensic.